Hello guys, one more time and welcome to Ring Royalty. Hey, so welcome to the channel once more, and today I have my very special shirt because we are going to have part 2 of scrap storylines, or as I'm going to call them from now on, cancel storylines. I decided to use cancel because it sounds like more attractive, at least in my opinion. But okay, so every time you see this jean shirt here on camera, that means we're talking about cancel storylines, okay? Remember that. This is the second part. A lot of people asked me for it, so I decided to give you what you wanted, and here we are. Now we're going to explain the dynamic for the people that is new on the channel. First, we talk about what was the storyline about. Then we're going to talk about the reason why it was cancelled, if it is known, of course. And to finish, we're going to talk about what could have happened if this story was included on the show. So let's start with this very interesting part 2. The first storyline I'm going to talk about is Kharma's revenge on the Bella twins. So back in 2011, we got Awesome Kong, that you of course knew her back from TNA Impact. She was very well known before going to WWE, so the expectations were very high. And she debuted at Extreme Rules 2011, destroying a retiring Michelle McCool. And from that point, she decided to basically annihilate every woman that crossed her path. But what happened? Then once they had, I think it was an A-Diva tag team match, Kharma came out and she broke down in the ring, started crying, nobody understood what the hell was going on. And the point was for Kharma to announce the week after that she was pregnant and she needs to leave the company. Let's remember that the Bella Twins interrupt this emotional segment. The Bella Twins at the moment were kind of like the face of the division, as Brie was the Divas champion. And they decided to mock Kharma. They told her she was fat and that she was going to get fatter when the baby was going to grow, and that baby was going to be ashamed of her because they knew Kharma could not do anything as she was pregnant. She promised that the Bella Twins will suffer as soon as she came back. That was her mission, and a lot of people were very interested in this. Sadly, it never happened. The reason is unknown. Let's remember that in 2012, Kharma returned for the Royal Rumble to be that special entry, but she never was reintroduced into the Divas division, which is a shame because Kharma, being the dominant woman that she was and having brutal feuds with the likes of Gail King on Impact, coming to the Divas division and facing the embodiment of what a diva was back in the time, we're talking about the Bellas, could have been a very interesting clash. They missed a big opportunity at Extreme Rules 2012 when Nikki was the champion now, and she had a mystery opponent, and a lot of people thought that was the return of Kharma. But then Eve Torres, who was the kind of like the GM of the time, spoiled everything saying it was not Kharma, and after that Kharma was released. The Bellas against Kharma could have been a great match, maybe not wrestling-wise, but story-wise could have been something very memorable, as we have the embodiment of what a diva is in Brie and Nikki against, you could say, an anti-diva or maybe an untraditional diva in Kharma. I would have loved to see a lot more from Kharma in the WWE, not only her destroying the Bellas, but also would have loved to see a feud with her and another powerhouse in the division. Could have been either Natalia or Beth. And unfortunately, we're just going to have to keep dreaming because it's not going to happen. Storyline number 2. This probably is the most popular storyline I'm ever going to talk about in this section. And this is going to be the Emmalina debut. Or Emma. Or Emmalina. Or Emma. Well, you get the point. So, Emmalina was a character promoted for months, and you can see that all the vignettes were of Emma showing a sexy side of her, trying to be more heelish, kind of like Sable when she was heel back in the Attitude Era. So you could tell that Emma was going to change directions. Instead of being a vicious heel like she was going to come back exploiting her sex appeal. But why this gimmick or storyline was cancelled? The reason is Emma didn't feel comfortable playing that role. And when they were doing rehearsals with management, Emma didn't seem to be comfortable on camera. It wasn't natural, it wasn't what they were expecting, so they decided to have that lame segment where Emmalina debuted and then just announced that Emma was coming back, so then she disappeared for weeks and returned to be her old self. Yeah, so that was quite messy. But the real reason was that Tennille or Emma wasn't feeling the character, she didn't like it, she didn't want to portray it, and it was going to be shown as that on camera, which was not good for business. I think this was the best decision they ever made because Emma is a very great in-ring performer, more than a character. And some people say that later they gave this character to Lana when she was going to debut on SmackDown, and you have a lot of those promos when she was dancing in a chair. So I think that was the right choice, as Emma could be a great wrestler more than a character, but Lana is the complete opposite. She's more a character than a wrestler. So I think in the end, this was something beneficial as they both got what they really wanted. One was wrestling more and the other was having more of a character-centered performance. So I would say everybody won. Storyline number 3. We're going back to 2010 and we're going to remember NXT Season 3. Now let me point out that NXT back then was not the amazing brand that we know today. NXT used to be more like a game or competition show where newcomers called rookies were paired up with some WWE superstar that they were called their pros. So the cancelled storyline here is Aloisia as Vicky Guerrero's NXT Rookie Diva. You're probably going to tell me, who the hell is Aloisia? So let me explain. Before season 2 finished, they promoted Aloisia, a gigantic Amazon. She was 6'9", as Vicky Guerrero's rookie on the next season. Now, the explanation they gave, because as you know, Caitlyn was Vicky Guerrero's rookie diva, was that Vicky Guerrero had an argument with Aloisia, therefore she decided to fire her. Of course, this was kayfabe. But what was the reason Aloisia was never in NXT? The reason is not clear, as she claimed in an interview that WWE never explained the reason why they decided to take her out of the show. And of course, a lot of people were trying to come up with different reasons. Some say that some racy photos came out and WWE tried not to be linked with that type of people that don't, adult content. Some other people say she was very green in the ring, very inexperienced, but so was Caitlyn. Let's remember that Caitlyn's first match came on NXT TV, so I don't think that was the reason. We're never going to know, but imagine an Amazon 6'9" participating in NXT with the likes of AJ Lee, Oksana, Naomi, Maxine. I think it would have changed the complexion of the whole season. It could have made people more invested on the show just because her physical presence was so menacing. I mean, you can't deny that she is so unique. Like, you see her and you stand there in awe. For me, this was a missed opportunity. Caitlyn won NXT Season 3, but what could have happened if she wasn't even a participant in that season? Maybe Aloisia could have won and become the next breakout diva? We don't know. I doubt actually people would vote for her over Naomi or AJ Lee, but at least she would have brought something to the table that we haven't seen in a long time, that is an Amazon type girl in a major promotion. I hope Isis the Amazon, aka Aloisia, had a great career in the indies, because I don't really know what happened to her after that, but well, she was never in WWE TV. Storyline number 4. We're going to talk about a storyline that the end, or what was planned, was revealed last week, and this is Maria Kanellis' baby's father. So Let's remember that we're talking about 2019. Maria was pregnant for the second time, and this was turned into a storyline. Let's recap. So Maria was basically trying to humiliate her husband. We are not sure why. I think he was on a losing streak. And when she was pregnant, one of the arguments that she used was that she wasn't even sure that Mike was her baby's father. So this became very interesting as nobody knew where this storyline was going. So Maria took Twitter to reveal what was going to happen with that storyline, of course, before both Mike and Maria were taken out of WWE TV. The storyline was supposed to go as Maria was going to stay as a heel, destroy and break down her husband psychologically just because he was losing matches. This was supposed to be the breakout moment for Mike Kanellis, who was coming from the ground up, and he was going to become a massive babyface and start a big career as a face, while Maria was going out for her pregnancy, and she was later supposed to return and reunite with her husband to be a face couple trying to dominate the WWE. The reason this was scrapped was number one, because of Maria's pregnancy, and number two, because Mike was not satisfied with his position in the company at the time. I think this could have been a beneficial story, not only for Mike, as he was supposed to be a huge star in the making, thanks to this storyline, but it could have been also a great opportunity for Maria to show what a great heel she truly is. She had a heel run on Impact TNA. I don't know if a lot of people knew about that, when she was the VP of the Knockouts, and she was such a bitch. She was messing with everyone. She was so annoying. She was trying to look for any way to humiliate people and to take advantage of them. So Maria could be a conniving heel. That's proved, but not in the WWE. So it's kind of sad that they never gave her that opportunity. She was reaching that level when she was humiliating Mike again and again, but then there was never a payoff, so you couldn't see Maria as such a good heel because the storyline was scrapped. To finish, the last storyline I'm going to talk about is Asuka defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Sonya Deville at WrestleMania 35. The reason why this was cancelled was revealed on an episode of Total Divas. The reason why this was cancelled is because Vince didn't trust Sonya or Asuka to have enough star power to make this Mania match interesting. He basically thought that Sonya against Asuka was something that nobody cared about and that they didn't deserve basically a spot on the WrestleMania card. For that reason, if you remember correctly, that year, we're going to talk about 2019, Charlotte got a random SmackDown title opportunity against Asuka just like 2 weeks before Mania, and she dethroned Asuka. So basically both Sonya and Asuka, with the majority of the SmackDown girls, were thrown into the pre-show Battle Royal, and Charlotte went to face Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch in a winner-take-all in the main event of WrestleMania. For me, this was so unfair. Number one, because now, a year later, we can see that Sonya Deville, first, is a great in-ring performer, and second, that she is a great heel. If she had the opportunity to show this side of her back in WrestleMania season last year, I'm sure that a lot of people would have loved to see Sonya against Asuka, because Asuka is a natural babyface. She's so likable, and in that time a lot of people were behind her, so they just needed to build a credible contender, and Sonya was the perfect pick for that. But they decided to drop the ball once again, some women, and go back to, you know, the ones that they always push, like Charlotte, Becky, the four horsewomen basically, along with Alexa and some others, but that's another stuff. This was such a big shame. I really think Sonya and Asuka deserved a Mania match. I think a lot of people would agree, because Asuka is probably the best in-ring performer they have for a while now. And Sonya, she is very good in the ring as well. So that could have been a very interesting match, and maybe it could have been a sleeper in the WrestleMania card. Maybe it was something that not a lot of people expected to be good and turned out to be one of the best matches of the card, but we're never going to find out because Vincent Kennedy McMahon is not giving all of our women the same opportunities, which is a shame. Okay, so this was everything for part 2 of Cancel Storylines. I hope you like these 5 storylines. Let's remember that we go 5 on each video, so if you want part number 3, it would be so lovely to hear in the comments, and I would also like to hear which of these storylines from this video do you think were the most interesting one and which were okay just being scrapped. What could have happened? Let me know that in the comments. Once again, I want to thank you for all your support. We're already more than 100 and you have no idea how much that means to me. Once again, I will tell you that my Instagram is over here. But you already know that. If you want to follow me on the social media, that would be amazing. I swear I cannot thank you enough. Don't even know what else to say. And I will see you guys next week. Goodbye.